Good morning and welcome to Babyologie. I'm Debbie Page, your host, and the founder and director of The Newborn Baby. Thanks so much for joining me. So today I was going to talk a little bit about colostrum, but the more I thought about it, the more I thought it probably would be important for me to help you understand what is happening when your baby's born. So the first year of life is always the most dangerous period of time in a human's life. Babies are born into this world of germs with an extremely immature immune system. So as they come into this world, they're completely sterile. And every time they're exposed to the germs, the viruses, the bacteria, the parasites, the pollen, they have to respond to those. And that's how they build up their own defense mechanism. This is where breast milk comes into play. Breast milk is absolutely critical for a baby's health. It is the breast milk that helps build the baby's immune system. Human milk provides the foundation for lifelong immune protection. Dr. Mark Cregan is a molecular biologist and the founder of the Lactation Biology Laboratory, and that's at the University of Australia, or Western Australia, in Perth. And when he discovered stem cells in breast milk, he said, in essence, oh my gosh, what we now know as being what the placenta is to the baby during the time in the uterus, breast milk is that, or the mammary glands are to the baby the same thing. And it is the human milk that the baby gets that then provides the developmental guidance that ensures a baby's developmental and genetic destiny is fulfilled. This is really the most significant thing about breast milk, is that mother's own milk is providing this immune protection for the baby. When you look at the rest of the world of mammals, they all receive their mother's milk or their own species milk. So species-specific milk is very important for all mammals to receive. Unfortunately, formula companies have actually brainwashed us into thinking that their milk is identical to breast milk, and in some ways they're trying to promote that it's even better. Well, the problem is that a lot of mothers then begin to see that formula milk they think is the same as breast milk. It looks the same, so why isn't it the same? But it's important to remember that formula can only reproduce the nutritional part of breast milk. And all the rest of the breast milk, 90% actually of breast milk, is all designed to support the immune system and provide the genetic development for the baby. Formula will never be able to do that. And so, again, what we want to stress is that babies are born into this world sterile. They're immediately forced into a world that's full of germs. They've got to build up their immune protection against these germs, and the way that they do that is through their mother's own milk. Now, there are going to be times when mother's own milk is not available for a baby. So what's the next best thing? Well, most people think that the next best thing, or at least in the Western world, most people think that the next best thing is formula. Is actually not. The next best thing for a baby would be someone else's human milk. Milk banks around the world provide donor milk, especially for babies in the premature nursery or in the NICU. So, what I want you to remember is that breast milk is essential, that it's the baby's lifeline for building an immune protection that will last the baby for all of his lifetime. And the problem with breastfeeding is really twofold. And one is that parents don't understand what breast milk really is. They have no idea that breast milk is this unbelievably, very unique substance, the most complex substance actually known to mankind. And then the second problem is that mothers are not getting any support once they leave the hospital or once they've had their babies. They're not getting follow-up. They're not being surrounded by other women that can help them in their breastfeeding journey. And then if once parents begin to recognize that breast milk is so crucial to their baby's development, they will certainly want to breastfeed or to give their baby as much breast milk as they can. Once healthcare professionals recognize the incredible value of breast milk, they will certainly employ their parents to provide breast milk for their babies as much as they can for as long as they can. So thanks for joining me. And as always, our mothers are amazing, our babies are awesome, and breast milk is spectacular. Thanks again.